No, actually, we were just on a call with a friend of mine that I was quoting, and she said, it's probably good for you, Travis,
Yeah.
a little more structure in your life.
Yeah.
And anybody that knows me will say probably the
Probably
same
good.
thing.
Yeah.
Good for me. So, no, I like it.
All right, and we're live. Welcome, Yellow Colored Glasses. Today is episode 40, and we have a special guest on in our brand newest employee at Mounce Agency, Mr. Before I say your name, I'm going to read a review like we always do. Okay. Let everybody wonder who this might be that we have on the Yellow Colored Glasses podcast on May 11th of 2023. All right. So before we get started, I'm going to read a review. As you guys all know, reviews are a huge part in everything that we do on a daily basis with our agency. So Justin C., he left us an amazing review. He said, best and easiest group of insurance agents I've ever worked with, always there to answer any questions and to help you and find the best fit for your insurance needs. I have had an amazing experience with this group. Thank you, Justin. We actually just hit 100 5-star reviews recently, so that was a really big milestone for us. So thank you for anybody and everybody who has left us a good review. All right, so before we get started, we're going to do our peek in our pit, okay, like we always do with the yellow colored glasses. So my peak for the week is office is growing. That's why we're here. We have Travis Thompson on. So we're super excited about having him on. We got our podcast room up to date. We got our signs. We tried the wallpaper thing. We pivoted, and now we're here. So super excited about that. A pit that I have for the week right now, which a peak is what we're feeling great about. Pit is something we're struggling with. Right now, I'm trying to learn a lot of new things in the real estate commercial field, commercial real estate. And sometimes I feel like it's a little overwhelming. So I'm trying to figure that out. Like, it's a learning process. And even though you could make an argument that that's a peak, right now it gets very frustrated whenever you don't completely understand everything. So
I feel you on that.
Yeah. So that's my peak and pit. Travis, where are you at?
Yeah, my peak and pit is a little bit similar on the pit, but I'll start with my peak.
Okay.
Peak is enthusiasm with being here, dude. This is, whenever I first started, I would say I'll start with my pit, actually.
Okay.
The learning curve.
Okay. Yep.
Good night.
It's fun, but it sucks.
It's draining.
It is.
Actually, you even said something about it whenever my first couple weeks, because usually I am the energetic, enthusiastic person, but good night when you're studying and you're learning new things and you're trying to retain it. Yep. And I know it comes with territory. I understand that. But the peak is the opportunity.
Yep.
I am enthralled with the process. And now that I've seen some of the processes, getting to quote some of my friends and see, what I can do for them. And like the coolest part ever is like, hey, aside from everything else, I get to be your agent.
Yep.
Like
you call me.
Like you literally call me.
Yep.
And that's, all the way back to construction roofing. I just like to be the relationship aspect. Like if there's something I can do for you, like I want to be the first person you think of.
All right, without further ado, bam, 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 bam. We have Travis Thompson on our podcast. And I'm very excited to have Travis on. So me and Travis have known each other for a very long time. I texted him this morning, asked him if he would be on today, and he agreed. So I've been looking forward to this. So without further ado, Travis, welcome.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, man, coming on. So Travis, I know, and I'll let you go ahead and jump into telling us a little bit about yourself, but quick backstory. So Travis, you just started working here at Mounce Agency.
I did.
So we're excited to have you on here, man. You've been in insurance, sales and marketing lingo for a little bit now, so that's cool. I know you've done some things prior to that, but me and you, we've known each other for what?
Long time. Flag football, actually.
I was going to say,
go way back.
I mean, how long? I mean, like probably, how old is flag football?
I mean, Over 15 years.
That's what I thought. So, yeah, me and you have known each other for 15 years. Went to school together, played football together. Had some fun together. So, anyways, without further ado, Travis, thanks for being on. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Yeah, brother. Appreciate you having me. Appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.
Like Jake said, grew up Pleasant Hill, born and raised.
Yep.
Still here. I started with Warren and Mounce not too long ago, but definitely a lot of past before that. A little bit of insurance, a lot of construction, a lot of growing up, figuring out life.
Yep.
Luckily, I had my wife, high school sweetheart, had her there kind of guiding me throughout the years, keeping me on the straight and narrow. But
you got to have that.
You got to have that, man.
So what? So you're married, right?
Married. For, let's see here. It's 2000. It'll be 10 years next year.
Okay.
Wow.
You've been married 10 years?
I'll be married 10 years next year.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while.
See, me and Michaela, we've been together for 10, but we've been married for 5.
Oh.
So when did you guys start dating then? 10 years? That would have been like in college?
Just before senior year of high school, actually.
Oh, yeah, duh. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no.
I'm thinking of my 5 years. Okay. So,
yeah,
just in high school.
2 kids later, got a 6-year-old.
Okay.
6-year-old girl, Hadley, and 2-year-old, soon to be 3-year-old, Cade.
Okay.
Yeah, man, they keep me on my toes, man.
That's awesome. Now, did you guys go to school together, like in college?
Yeah. We were actually just talking about this yesterday. I don't think I would have gone to college. I don't.
Really?
I honestly don't know what I would have done if I didn't start dating Haley at the time. She's been kind of my rock. Like, I followed her to college.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it basically was, if you're going to date me, you're going to college kind of a thing.
Okay, well, good.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I get it, man. You got to have stuff like that. I mean, Michaela's done the same stuff for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I used to be a little punk.
Yeah.
I mean, not as much as you. But,
I was pretty wild.
I don't know who was more wild.
Tough to say.
I think it was debatable.
We crossed paths a few different times, and
that's awesome. Okay, I did not know that. So you guys started dating in high school, which I did know that, and then I did not know that it was like that with the whole college thing. I honestly thought you guys broke up almost and then got back together in high school or in college, but that's totally off. Okay.
Yep.
So 10 years. So how long have you guys actually been? How long have you guys actually been together?
Since 2009.
So what would that be?
Almost 14 years.
14 years, and then married 10. So when did you guys get married? Like, was it right out of college or?
June 21st of 2014. Haley's gonna be so happy I remember that.
That's good. There's no pressure, man. I guess we could have edited that one out if we would have got it wrong.
Yeah, we could.
Well, me and Michaela, so we celebrated 5 years on April 28th, okay, of this year. But then her birthday is on the 29th of May, so May 29th. And then we have where we've been together for like 10 years dating on August 28th. See how there's always like the 28th and the 29th and like...
It's easy to get them mixed up.
Right?
Very easy.
Okay. I've only gotten that down here recently, and I just wanted to say that out loud because usually I get those wrong.
I'm sure she's proud of you.
Yeah, she should be, and she'll be listening to this, and she probably will start smiling, or we will be sitting. You'll be sitting in front of her, and I'll be sitting behind her, and she'll probably start laughing whenever we talk about this. Mark my words. Let's put it. We'll do an over/under bet on that. Okay, so that's cool. So you guys got 2 kids. No, you guys live here in town, right?
Yep.
Pleasant Hill. Now, have you guys always lived here in town, right?
Yeah, 3 different houses.
Okay.
Started off on the south end of town, moved to the north end of town, had some friends move into our old house, and we moved across the street.
Okay,
so yeah.
Cool. Okay, that's awesome. And then, so right out of college, so I know, of course, me and you have known each other for a while, and I feel like in high school we were good friends. I mean, like we didn't hang out all the time, but we were always in the same group. I mean, I feel like we were always cool. Like everything was really good. So, but after that, we didn't really, like after high school, I don't think we really hung out a ton, did we? Or communicated with each other?
No.
I don't think so. So, but then
struggling through school.
Yeah, so you were in school, I was doing my thing, and then after college, what did you start doing after college? Actually, I think you started this during college, right?
Construction, yeah. So that's kind of my main background. So I actually started doing the construction when I started dating Haley.
Okay.
Her brother-in-law owns a company here in town, general contractor.
Okay.
Do a lot of insurance restoration, hailstorm, stuff like that. So always kind of had an interest in construction. So she led me to go to college. Didn't know what I wanted to do in college.
Yep.
But I had always worked for him, and he said basically if you want to be hired full-time out of this, you got to have a degree. So I don't care what it's in, figure it out.
Good for him. Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
good working with my hands, like the construction, figured out there's such thing as a construction management degree. So that was my main focus. I was on the Van Wilder program, so it took me about over 6 years to
There's nothing wrong with
finish
Really?
that.
I did not know that either.
6.5 years actually to finish college.
Hey, you finished.
I finished. Got the piece of paper, man. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but out of college, worked. Actually, I went and worked for a pretty big general contractor here in Kansas City. Did that for about a year, and lo and behold, there was a hailstorm. My brother-in-law needed some help. I was his first call. I said, "I'll be there next week, man."
Now, before you started working with him, what kind of? I mean, was it roof? Because I know, everybody. We'll go ahead and put it out there, but you started doing a ton of roofing. That's where me and you really started working with each other. Not in the same field, right? But anything that I would deal with, I would send to you, and we did that for shit.
It's all about
4 or 5.
relationships.
We did that for a while, didn't we?
We did that for a long time.
We did it.
Yeah. That was the thing about construction. It really is about relationships.
Yep.
It's about who you know, how you treat those people, and how you can work together.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's the thing with everything, and I think that's one thing that we've all really come to conclusion is that you can do so much on your own, but when you can do it with a bunch of people and building this relationship and building this person's trust and credibility, it's not an overnight thing, but when you do that over time, then it starts to snowball and it's just crazy. Yep. So, but before you got into with your brother-in-law, what were you doing? Was it the same type of construction, or were you just doing more general contracting, or is it residential, commercial? What did that look like?
Yeah, it was. So we were a medium to large-sized general contractor. Mostly did commercial. Was on a few multifamily facilities.
Okay.
Typically, our jobs were anywhere from $10 to $30 million jobs.
Wow. Okay.
So they were pretty big. One of my first jobs.
Now, were you managing these jobs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
you
so
were the project manager, right?
I was a superintendent.
Superintendent,
so I was
okay.
on-site supervisor, kind of head of everybody. They put me in charge. Most of the jobs I was on the exterior finishes, so I had anywhere from 20 to 40 people on a daily basis underneath me, which was wild. Out of college, had people twice my age, and I was like, hey man, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but you got to do it the right way, otherwise I'm going to say something. So that was definitely something to overcome for sure. But man, I sold myself in that interview because it was 9 months, I think, out of college and doing that. They put me on my own project. So I got put on a $10 million remodel.
Wow.
Just me. It was a start to finish new construction.
Here locally?
It was actually St. Mary's University over in Leavenworth, Kansas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they promised me if I got on my own job, it'd be close to home. And then they said, hey,
How
we got
far
your
away?
own job.
It was 2 hours?
It was 2 hours with no traffic.
My goodness.
So the way home, you hit every bit of rush hour. It was a whole.
And you had to be there every day, all day?
Yeah, I had to be there before the guys that wanted to show up and drink their coffee. So I left my house probably 3:30 for a long time.
Wow.
I think it was about a 9-month project.
Dang.
Yeah. Lots of miles. Lots of driving.
I don't think I knew that. Okay, so you worked there for a while, and then big hailstorm. What year was that?
That was 2017.
Okay, that was when we had a big one.
Yep.
I remember.
That was Harrisonville, actually.
Okay.
Yep. So Harrisonville was about 15 minutes away, but they had a big one. My brother-in-law, he's a one-man show, so he's got crews and everything that. So just managing that, called me, came to work for him. Had a big hailstorm that year. Next year,
Another big one.
2 hailstorms.
I was going to say, I feel like that was a big year.
We had 2 hailstorms in our hometown. So, yeah, there's definitely more roofs and more people to talk to than I could handle.
That's good, though. No, and I remember, so when I was at State Farm, we would send everybody your way, and I feel
Those
like
relationships, man.
that was a big deal. I remember there was one time where we had 20-some claims come in one day. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I was like, yeah, just call Travis. Travis is going to talk you out. Like, I mean, I think you put roofs on my grandma's house, my uncle's house, maybe my mom, my sister's.
Sister's house.
Yeah. So I think you put roofs on everybody's house. Oh, on the flip house. We did that flip house out in Independence.
Yep.
That was crazy. I remember you were like, yeah, I'll be there today. And I like pull up later. It's like done. I'm like, damn.
We didn't mess around, man. That's a doggy dog.
Dude, I do remember that though. I actually kind of forgot about that. I always forget how fast it goes.
Most people think it takes a long time.
I know.
I mean, there's different crews
for sure,
different quality. Our crew leader, I've known him since me and Haley started dating. Really, most of the time in that industry, you usually get the crews that chase storms and just, hey, I'm looking for work. I mean, our crew leader, he's been here since he was like 16, and I think he's pushing 45 now. So, yeah. That's
awesome. No, you guys did good. You guys did. That was awesome. It was good work, and So that's how me and you kind of came. I mean, we've really kind of worked with each other for a long time now.
It's a good relationship outside of school.
Yeah, I think we had probably a better relationship then than we did maybe in high. I don't know. I don't really remember. I mean,
no, I think we did. I mean, the high school relationship. It was
just it's high school.
We couldn't get away from each other. We were in the same building every day.
That's true.
So outside of that, it was.
Yeah, we could tell a couple of fun stories of that, but we might keep that for later. Remember one time Travis almost got us in trouble, kicked out of school because of some dare. We're not even going to talk about it. We probably shouldn't talk about it. Anyways, okay, cool. So that's cool. So you did that. So then after you were doing the, with the construction, you got into consulting, some sales, with basically some like a product with certain State Farm agencies, and you did that for what? How long did you do that for?
2 years. Almost
2 years.
2 years.
Okay.
Yep.
So learned a lot through there. I think it sounds like doing a lot of calling, do a lot of prospecting, just sales in general. You probably learned a ton of.
That's exactly where I honed in on my sales.
Yeah.
I mean, before that, I knew construction. Sales went along with it. Mm-hmm. That job was work from home, and you call and
call. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's good though. I mean, because like when I started out, like I didn't go to school. I tried. I gave it a full semester. And then
college try.
Yeah, and then I was like, I'll probably go do something else. And went actually and started doing door-to-door sales. I did door-to-door sales for about a year and a half, about a year and a quarter, and did security systems. So I would just go out and knock on people's doors, sell them a security system, and
that's a tough.
Yeah. So I did that for a while, and I only worked. That was the dangerous part about it, is I only worked for like 4 hours a day, and I made a lot of money like for the 4 hours a day, because like. You could go knock on 4 or 5 hours a day, but during the night, like you're not gonna knock on doors during the day.
Right.
So you could knock doors till dark, and then you could do whatever you wanted the rest of the time. So I did that for a while, and I learned a ton. And when you don't know something and you're just doing it, you have no fear. And I feel like whenever you were doing like the roofing and stuff, like. I mean, you probably did a lot of door knocking, maybe?
A lot.
Did you?
A lot.
Okay.
I did in college, I put roofs on. I installed roofs.
Okay.
So that kind of gave me a little bit of credibility. But yeah, as far as the selling, it was door knocking, it was running jobs, it was scheduling, it was estimating, it was,
So really everything you've done, because like that's the other thing, is like construction, I feel like is, we all think of construction as like, oh, you got to get out and, use your hands or hit a hammer or whatever that may be, right? But like there's a lot of other things that go into that, with relationships, with the way you guys were running it, or at least from outside looking in, was a complete on sales organization on the construction side.
Yep.
I mean,
as far as doing the work, I did repairs.
For sure. I mean, it's not like you can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, but for the most part, it was an organization, just logistics, everything aside from doing the actual work.
Correct. But that's what I mean. Like it's just there's just one, like doing the work is just one piece of the business, right? And the way you guys were doing it, and that's why I think you guys did so well, and that's what I noticed personally. Like that's why I've always said. Even whenever you were, I was doing the same thing you were doing with the State Farm guy, State Farm thing, and I was trying to get to work with you at that time too, So like I've always thought like, gosh, I feel like Travis there's something there that like it's hard to do what he's doing, and he's exceeding at it very well.
It's activity, man.
Yeah, and that's not how a lot of people are. So like that's kudos to you, because like I feel like it's been consistent. Like when you've seen Travis, whenever I started seeing you outside of from a professional standpoint, like it's the same Travis. Like that activity and that like mindset was the same as what I see. What we see now. So.
Appreciate
it's just cool to see, like, all of us. I mean, because you probably say the same thing about me, like, whenever I was at first at State Farm, like, how we've all progressed, and I don't know, the consistency of it's cool. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's cool. A little bit of backstory. You got wife, 2 kids, live in town, been married for 10 years. That's crazy. It's crazy.
Man.
It's crazy we can even say that that's even like a thing.
Yeah. Most recent, Hadley, my oldest, she's finishing up her kindergarten year.
And she's your oldest?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Finishing kindergarten.
How old is kindergarten people? How old are those kids?
She's 6.
Gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, you're getting old.
Yeah, some of our friends don't even have kids, aren't married or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I'm okay with it, because that's the sooner the kids are going to be out of that.
Correct. I think there's either 2 ways, and me and Michaela talk about this all the time. I actually had a conversation at the gym with somebody about this. It's like, you either have kids young, right? Mm-hmm. And then they're out by basically 40, in your early 40s. They're 18-ish, right?
Right.
Or you have them later, right, where you enjoy all of your 20s and maybe your early 30s, like what me and Michaela are doing.
Right.
And then,
there's not a wrong way to
there's not a right or wrong way to do it.
That's right.
I think it's just whatever ended up working for each person. So.
No, absolutely.
Okay, so that's cool. So how long you been here, Warren Mounce? How long has it been? Has it been not been a month?
About a month, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, this will be a month.
A month long?
Yeah.
Like the end of this week?
Yeah, the end of this week.
Okay. How you liking it?
It's fun, dude.
Is it? Seriously, you can say you're not liking it right now. Like you don't. I didn't get you on this here just so you could lie.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about the ups and downs before this. There's definitely going to be.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me is the learning curve.
Yep.
I want to know all there is to know, and when I don't know that,
it's
so frustrating for me.
And there is a lot to know, and that's kind of why, like, when we've been going through stuff, like I try to like show you anything that I am walking through, because even though like you might not necessarily need to understand it right now, you might have to at some point in time.
Yeah.
But just know that it's not a race. Like it takes time, just like the construction field. Like you're not going to know every single piece of that from day one. So, but other than that, what are you thinking? Because I know the office is a different thing for you. So are you liking coming into the office? Are you liking the people that you're around? Like how are you feeling with all that?
I like it. Actually, we were just on a call with a friend of mine that I was quoting, and she said, it's probably good for you, Travis, a little more structure in your life.
Yeah.
And anybody that knows me will say probably the same thing. Yeah, good for me. So no, I like it.
What's Haley think?
She
liking it?
She thinks I need it too.
Okay, good. I mean, does she like? I mean, I haven't even asked you that, so that's
absolutely.
Good.
She's definitely a big supporter. Anything that I think I can do, she knows I can do. She's just there to support. And,
Well, I'm excited, man. I mean, I know this kind of came out like I know really how it. I mean, it just kind of we just started talking, and one thing led to the next, and that's kind of really how we got here for the most part. I mean, so you got your life and health license.
Yep.
Okay, so you just got that passed, Friday?
Last week, Friday.
So that's awesome. Little clap in there like that. I think should do that one too.
Okay.
Groovy. And there's that one. I think that one's cool.
That one's really good. That should be on your intro.
This is the kind of
your intro.
Yeah, that kind of actually has Travis Thompson vibes.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Saturday Night Live vibe.
Okay. Okay, so that's cool. So you got your life and health license. So you're gonna be doing a ton of life insurance, health insurance, maybe. You never know. And then now you're studying for your property and casualty.
And casualty.
And that's going to be able to, you can write auto, home, anything from a commercial standpoint, business, renters,
you name it.
Really anything else. Anything from an insurance standpoint, though all of those licenses are going to cover you across the board. Okay, so there's not anything you're not going to be able to write insurance on. Okay, so that's cool. What else? What else? What do you like to do outside of work? So we talked about, you, where you're from, your background. Talked about what you're going to be. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about what you're doing at the agency. So we are doing the life and health, the PNC. I think the main focus, right? What is the main focus that you're going to be doing for the most part at the beginning right now?
Property and casualty.
Property and casualty. So anybody who's listening, auto, home, that's the biggest one to get your feet wet.
Guy.
Okay. Well, and that's the cool thing about, we're just going to continue to go on to this, what we've been talking about. That's the cool thing about insurance, is like insurance is not a sexy thing to talk about, right? It's not like you get jacked up and just so fired up and to do it, but you need it, right? It is a need. You have to have it. And there is nothing more like concerning or more important when something bad happens and you have a gap in coverage, or you're not covered for something, or you don't have the peace of mind of, if this is going to be covered or if you're going to be taken care of, right? So I feel like, and you're just kind of stepping into this, I feel like that's one thing like you'll be able to, at least that I can take a lot of pride on, is that I truly do, like, if we can save people money, that's wonderful, right? Yeah. Like, I love it. I love being able to help somebody out. But if I can at least review someone's policies and say, hey, like, we're good, right? And I would love to be your agent, right? And if for some reason that does not work out, but I at least bring attention and say, hey, there's a couple gaps here. We need to fill those gaps. I don't care if you switch over to us as we're your agent, or if you end up doing that on your end. Like, that is a really cool feeling, and I do believe, which we haven't even talked about this, I do believe you will like that a lot. Like, I feel like you'll take a ton of pride in that.
Yeah, I mean, referencing construction, man. Whenever you would tell me to go and look at a roof, man, I didn't care if I got the job or not. It wasn't about the money. It was
an honest opinion. Yes.
It was about the honest opinion where they could be like, wow, this Travis guy knows what he's talking about. He actually cares. I'm not just another number. Like,
yes.
If I need something, I want to be able to call that guy.
Yep.
Or if my grandma needs something, or my mom. Like, that's where I get a lot of joy from.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think that's why I think even not even ever being able to say it out loud, or even really like kind of thinking, but like I think I have always known that. Like, I don't know if I've never said this out loud, but like we would send you a ton of roofs, right? And that's something that it's very easy to talk people into filing a claim, right? Like, yeah, you definitely should file a claim in this. Like, you got some hail damage, but is it really worth filing a claim, right? We could probably get the insurance company to pay for it, right?
Yeah.
But is it really worth it? Yeah. Do you really need a roof?
Or that's the big thing with roofers. Yeah, I mean that's a great example, because you got to trust the guy's word. You're not going to get up on the roof with him.
No.
And there are a lot of people out there that have that money in mind. That they say, oh, well, we
can get this paid for.
Yeah, we can hope, fingers crossed, we got a pushover adjuster that, yeah, we could probably get. A lot of the times I said, I wouldn't pay for this if I was an adjuster.
Yep.
Like, it's just honesty.
And that's where the honesty comes into play. And I actually did hear that. I would hear that. Like, Travis was like people would come back and, well, Travis said he was kind of hesitant on, if we should file. I'm like, if Travis is hesitant, then we probably shouldn't do. Like, it's probably not worth your time to do it, because Travis is like, if it's worth it, he's going to tell us, right? Now, again, that's his opinion, right? At the same time, but I would always try to get you in front of a client, because I knew whatever you would say, I would trust, like 100% guaranteed. Like, and I would fight it. Like, if there was something that didn't go right with the adjuster, I would fight it, because I'm like, no, Travis said it, right? And like that by itself, like, that goes a long ways. Like, credibility like that goes a long ways. And I feel like you take that exact same type of, mindset and mentality.
It transfers to this.
And that's going to be build up all the credibility you've already built up with all these other, people you've already worked with.
Yep. So,
and that's a really good feeling, right? And not everybody needs a new roof, right? Everybody needs insurance. So I'm really excited, man. No, I mean, I really am. This is going to be really a lot of fun. We have a lot of cool stuff that we're working on right now, with our podcast, with our trucking department, with our infinite banking and partnerships with real estate brokers. We're going to, so I know me and you I'm trying to kind of kind of teach you a little bit as this whole velocity banking thing with the infinite banking structures. Like that stuff is cool. Like not only are we going to be able to take care of people's, daily or, monthly fixed expenses on the insurance standpoint, but we're going to bring in some cool strategies to help people get out of debt, pay off debt, create more money for retirement, investing, X, Y, and Z. And I feel like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, it's going to be a blast, dude.
So, all right. Well, let's wrap it up. We've been going for about 35 minutes. So that's about what we wanted, 20, 30 minutes. So, Travis, thanks, dude, for coming on. Thanks for joining our team. Guys, anyone who's listening, you guys are going to start seeing Travis a lot more. You're going to start talking to Travis more. Anybody who needs quotes that you have not let us quote you, Travis is going to be your guy.
I'm the guy.
And, yeah. Bam, baby. All right, over and out. Episode 40 is in the books. Travis Thompson, thank you, brother.